Right, we're going to look at condensing logs. And there's three properties of logs we're going to look at. And if you look at these properties, they actually relate quite a bit to exponents. Okay? If we talk about, if we have, for example, a to the x plus y, that's basically equal a to the x times a to the y. And I don't know if you remember, you add these together, anytime you multiplication. So what we basically do in our working our way backwards. Since these are logs, they sort of work the same way. Since we're adding these two logs, if we want to combine them into one, just like here, we add these together, that would be the same as if you're sort of multiplying. So what we have is these three properties, and the first one we can do to condense this is we can say if these are the same base and we're adding these two different things, we can actually just say this is log base b to the x times y. Now, as you can probably guess, okay, when we're subtracting, it's instead of multiplying, we would say that this is going to be log base b x divided by y. And finally, this last property is anytime you have a value multiplied in front of this, you can condense this and say that this is the same as log base b x, and you actually move this up here and you put it as an exponent on x. All right, so these are basically our three ways of condensing. I'm going to go through 4 examples. Okay, so here's the 4 examples. This one's a little bit longer, so I need some more space. Now we're going to go through these 4 examples of how to condense. And notice you can only do that if they have the same base. If not, you cannot condense them. All right, so the first one, right, which of these properties do we use? Oh, it's subtraction. So we need to actually divide these values. So this would be equal to log base 3, and then I take 5 divided by x. In order, doesn't matter. It needs 5 needs to be on top, x on the bottom. In this case, since I'm adding, I would multiply these values. And finally, you sort of see this is out in front. So I use this third property. What I can do is I can move that over on top of this. So this would be log base 3x squared. Finally, these are the basic ones. What about when we get multiple things at a time? Okay. So you'll notice, since this is adding, I would multiply these values together. Since this is subtracting, I would use the division. So let's go through this. And I'm going to sort of do 2 steps in one, because the other thing is I need to move this 6 up here. I need to move this 4 here and this 2 here. Only because one thing is using this property. So I'm going to move those up, and then I figure out, all right, multiplication for these two, and then since this is subtraction, I need to divide. So I do log base 2, and now the things I'm multiplying will be x to the 6th and y to the 4th. And what gets divided is what I'm subtracting, which in this case is 5 squared. And that's just condensing it.